Hello everyone, today we're going to be reacting to Rusty Buckets talking about how Brook Lopez played like prime Shaq. Now I didn't watch Game 5 highlights or the game. I did look at the stats of everyone, and Brook Lopez had like 33 points. Wow. The Bucks actually won Game 5, but Trae Young was also out as well. So let's react.
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of I'm trying on a new outfit and I have no idea if it actually looks good.
I actually really like Rusty Bucket's main channel. Oh, why did Siri just popped up?
Also known as Rusty Buckets, that's the name of this channel. Subscribe to this channel if you have not already. I am trying to hit 100K on this channel by the end of the year, so I would appreciate your subscription, especially if you're somebody who's watching my main channel a lot.
I love your main channel.
Check out these videos occasionally.
I do. That's exactly what it is, so I will subscribe.
Watch them.
I will subscribe.
You
just called me out. He straight up just called me out.
So today's video,
I debated whether
or not to make it because Game 5 of the conference finals just happened, which obviously should be a big deal. However, no Giannis and no Trae Young, therefore like the actual level of attention this game is getting, and this series is getting probably a bit of a drop-off, though there is definitely hope for Trae to return in this series, and there is some hope for Giannis to return. So,
Chris Middleton also had 22 points.
Set in stone, just those guys aren't going to play.
Oh yeah, Giannis didn't tear anything either. So,
but they of course.
But nobody knows this timeline.
Game 5, Game 5, especially not especially. Game 5, when the teams are tied up 2-2, is a really pivotal and important game for the series.
Straight facts.
Now, whoever wins that one has the numbers on their side in terms of them winning.
It's the Bucks,
especially if they're the team with home court advantage. And luckily, in the case
Hawks
of
are kind of screwed over.
So luckily, in the case of the Atlanta Hawks, the Bucks win Game 5 relatively convincingly. Of course, this is an abnormal.
Dude, Bobby Portis went off. Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez.
The Bucks having Giannis and for a good chunk of the game, at least the first. I think the injury happened in the third quarter, and the Hawks not having Trae Young. The Hawks looked like they were going to win that game before Giannis got hurt. So they were clearly not just completely bad without Trae. They had Lou Williams step up and Bogdanovich step up.
Very true.
Step up. They just got a lot of production out of their guys who were more like catch and shoot guys previous.
You cannot just say their guys are just catch and shoot, man. Their role players stepping up like crazy, dude. Lou Will. Bogdanovich. I mean, their role players are crazy. I mean, would you even call them role players? They're all like very good players. Like they're like above the tier of role players, but they're not stars. You know what I mean? They're like very good role players, I guess you could say. You know, John Collins, I wouldn't consider him a role player, but he played very well. Clint Capella's been going off. Like I said, Lou Will, Bogdanovich, Kevin Huerter. Their team is so deep, bro. They're not just catch and shoot guys. Yeah. Very good team.
But this game,
well-rounded roster.
Bucks were
deep. They're
phenomenal
a deep team
at pretty much everything outside of what they typically do.
Exactly. That's the thing. Game 5, the Bucks just played extremely well. Are they going to keep up this level of play for Game 6, Game 7, especially when Giannis isn't going to be there? I don't think Giannis is coming back for the rest of the series. He might be back for the finals. I believe that's the timeline. The timeline is also like uncertain. Nobody really knows it, but I believe that is what the timeline is. So
they didn't get much production off.
They're going to play this good. I believe Trae Young will come back in Game 6.
In the starting lineup, they got Pat Connaughton with 9 points. He had a three-pointer out of the corner in this really nice like pump fake floater shot over John Collins, but that was pretty much it. And then Bryn Forbes, of course, hit a three. But after that, it was Chris Middleton who had a really good game, though not standing out significantly. Drew Holiday, who had a fantastic game, was dribble penetrating like over and over. A lot of assists out of that, a lot of good drives out of that.
Also
a couple of mid-range pull-ups, but also not like overly relying on the three-point shot, which is something he's been doing previously, so I appreciated that. PJ Tucker was fantastic defensively and rebounding-wise. Brook Lopez,
that's what PJ Tucker does.
The prime Shaq today.
Yeah, Brook Lopez is like, it's like someone went back in time and took Brook Lopez from the Brooklyn Nets, like 2011, 2012. Brook Lopez, they like took him from 2012, brought him over here, and he was like, "You're gonna play basketball. Go play basketball. We're in the conference finals. We need some buckets." And he dropped buckets. It's like Brook Lopez actually remembered that you can like shoot layups and dunk. Brook Lopez didn't know that for the past 3-4 years. It's like it's so crazy to me. Post up God back in the net. Goes to the Lakers, shoots 3-pointers, and then he completely forgets about the paint. The paint does not exist unless it's on defense. Then you protect the paint. But on offense, you don't go in the paint. It's like, what?
Like, I'm not even joking. He took 2 3-pointers today, but he had 33 points. He went 14 out of 18 shots, 78%.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff in the paint, a handful
See?
of dunks, hook shots,
Yeah.
and 1 hook shots. Just getting deep post position, and Capella was not doing a great job defending it. Onyeka Okongwu was not doing a great job defending it. Really, Brook Lopez just
took advantage.
Like it was back.
Bruh, ads, get out of here. Nobody likes you.
Back in his Brooklyn days where he was primarily a post threat.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even really that much like posting up to it. He was just being a big body inside, and
that's what Brook Lopez would do in the Nets,
late
though.
in the game, there was an alley-oop. There was a play where they were doubling Middleton on the perimeter, and then Middleton just threw
Imagine
it
if
right
Brook
into
Lopez
the
kept up this
restricted
level of
area
play.
where
Like,
Brook Lopez had good position
imagine.
For a hook shot. So Brook Lopez just fantastic, and he's the main reason why they win this game. However, a guy that I want to talk about specifically here is Bobby Portis.
Yeah, I love Bobby Portis. I have always loved Bobby Portis. Since he was on the Bulls, I've always been a fan of Bobby Portis. I'm not really sure why. Maybe he's just like an underrated player in my opinion. He just got the grit. He's a hustle player. He can shoot well. He can play defense. He's a 3-and-D guy. I love players like that. I've always been a huge fan of Bobby Portis. He's always been underrated. He was, I believe, a later pick. Yeah, man, I believe he was a later pick.
And I have been for years. There was actually a time where Bobby Portis was my favorite player in the league.
I love Bobby
Portis.
Portis.
Player on the Bulls, and my favorite player in the Bulls is by default my favorite player in the league.
He was also the 22nd pick. I just looked it up right now. He was the 22nd pick. I've always been a huge fan of Bobby Portis, actually. I love Bobby Portis.
He is my favorite player in the league. I honestly enjoy watching Steph Curry play more, but gotta have a Bulls guy number 1. Bobby Portis is such an amazing energy guy, and he's also a really good offensive threat. Most energy guys are like guys who make defensive and hustle plays, and they're not really known for their offense, but Bobby Portis can score the ball. He's a really good mid-range shooter. I know he hit a face-up mid-range shot in this game. I think he hit a fadeaway as well. He is a pretty damn solid outside shooter. His percentages and numbers have been really good for the past few years. And
3-and-D guy.
He's a good paint finisher, and he can post up. He had a couple of hook shots out of the post in this game.
In my opinion, I don't think anyone's really gave Bobby Portis a legit shot with like consistent minutes. I definitely see like what he's been doing right now. He's been a very solid role player for a contending team. I think Bobby Portis fits that role of, guys that need to be signed up by these contender teams like the Warriors. I have been saying that the Warriors need to fill up their roster. A player like Bobby Portis fits the Warriors roster beautifully. Duncan Robinson, great shooter as well. He would fit the roster as well. Bobby Portis, great player, great 3-and-D guy. That's what you need on any contending team, is a person like Bobby Portis who hustles, shoots 3-pointers, plays great defense.
Really, there was a lot of hook shots overall in this game. There was a lot of post play, a lot of interior stuff. I believe the Bucks had almost like 40 points in the paint at halftime.
Doesn't surprise me. Hawks aren't a great defensive team.
That was really their prerogative, was attacking the basket.
Yeah.
But Bobby Portis brought the energy. He brought the offense.
Smart game plan, honestly.
He made good hustle plays. He just deserves all the credit in the world for this game. So very, very, very good game from Bobby Portis. And I'm glad that he got inserted into the starting lineup, and glad that Budenholzer knew that he would have to be that source of offense. Because when you look at the bench, as far as I'm concerned, Bobby Portis is the best player on the Bucks bench. Yes, he's better than Bryn Forbes. Yes, he's better than Pat Connaughton.
I agree with that. Bucks bench isn't that good.
Pat Connaughton can bring as a wing, but overall, he's a better player.
Yeah.
And
Bucks bench isn't that good.
He wasn't getting minutes in the net series, and that was kind of confusing to me.
Yeah.
But he absolutely shined.
Bucks bench isn't that good compared to the Hawks bench.
More minutes for him going forward. Obviously, not starting when Giannis comes back, but just more opportunity because he can stretch the floor. In the playoffs, he's been a really good defender. He hasn't always been a good defender.
Yeah,
he has
that's
been
true.
In the playoffs, and decent.
Well, this season he's been a pretty solid defender, but when he was a rookie and in his Bulls years, honestly, when he played with the Bulls, he wasn't really a good defender.
rebounder, floor space.
He hustles. That's what making him a great defender right now is because he's hustling. You know what I mean?
Shot creating, rebounding a little bit, like just anything you can ask for out of Bobby Portis. He's pretty much doing it. He even made a couple of plays in this one. One pass in particular, out of the post, like threw it over his shoulder to a cutting Drew Holiday.
I believe I saw that.
Actually, it wasn't. It wasn't and one. But
I believe I saw that highlight. Actually,
he was doing that. So a fantastic game from Bobby Portis. Brooke Lopez played out of his fucking mind. And then both Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton came to play in this one. Drew Holiday in particular.
Can't beat the Bucks when they're playing like that.
Really,
you know what I mean?
Really attacking.
So I have a role player that steps up. That's what you got to have. That's what the Hawks got to have.
4 guys
just to have that one role player that steps up. You know what I mean?
And they got 21 assists out of their starting guards. So, yeah. Also, defensively, I have to say, well, I wouldn't say the Bucks did the best job overall because, like, giving up 112 points to a Trae Young-less Hawks team, I'd say is pretty subpar.
It's not that good.
They
are a really great offensive team, though, as the Hawks.
There were a couple of stretches where it felt like they were getting a steal every other defensive possession. Drew Holiday was ripping people, or he had one rip in particular on Lou Williams. And then Bobby Portis, who else but him, was also getting steals. He ripped the ball out of somebody's hands on the perimeter like it was a joke. And that
doesn't surprise me, honestly. Doesn't surprise me.
Bogdan Bogdanovic once again was really good. He was out there throwing up threes. I didn't realize he put up this many, but he took 16 fucking threes.
Wow.
Kevin Huerter was not his best today, and he's been big in moments for them in the past. So him not stepping up definitely hurt this one. Lou Williams once again had a pretty good game, not as good as last game, but still pretty good. John Collins played good, and Danilo Gallinari played good.
Yeah, that's the guy I forget to. I always forget to mention Danilo Gallinari. He doesn't get enough minutes, honestly, in my opinion. Game 4, I know he had 19 minutes and had 10 points. I'm not sure what he had for Game 5, but Danilo Gallinari, very underrated. I wish he was used more for the Hawks team. Then again, it's kind of hard to use him. He's a liability defensively, and when you have the Bucks cooking him in the paint, just destroying and attacking the paint, it's hard to play Danilo Gallinari.
Everybody that you would expect to contribute in the way, basically, other than Kevin Huerter, everybody contributed in the ways that you would hope them to.
Yeah, but you just gotta have that guy that steps up. When you don't have Trae Young, you gotta have that one guy to step up.
Wasn't enough, and that speaks to how good the Bucks played. I wouldn't say the Bucks necessarily or the Hawks necessarily played poorly. I think their interior defense could have been better. Honestly, the interior was so open for a lot of this game that I might have actually tried doing a double lineup of Capella and Onyeka Okongwu.
That's brutal.
Okongwu has like a little bit of spacing ability though, but like not enough that you would do that consistently. But there were just times in this game where it was like, dude, just lean all in on defense because your offense is not going to be enough to outscore this team right now.
That's fair. Like when you have the Bucks cooking them like that, you can't just fully rely on your offense. They'd still be a very good offensive team, I think, if they have that big man lineup like he's saying.
From the paint. So from that perspective, they didn't do the best defensive job in the world, but
it's the Hawks, and they're not going to do the best.
Overall, I can't be too mad at the Hawks here, even though, of course, this is the Bucks without Giannis. But I just think Bobby Portis had that game. I honestly think Bobby Portis can do this for the rest of the series. Maybe not to this extent. But
I think this is going to be a very interesting series, honestly. I think it will go to a Game 7.
Be a good offensive threat. I think Bobby can do that. And
Trae Young comes back,
get out of this conference
he'll force
a Game
7.
The ideal situation for the Bucks would be to win this in 7. Now, obviously, that does not mean that you lose Game 6 on purpose or anything like that. Like, just secure the finals
for Giannis.
But, like, if it goes to 7, that means another, like, day or 2, maybe even 3. I'm not entirely sure how the scheduling will end up working. But it's another at least day or 2 that Giannis would be able to recover from his injury before the finals. So, that will be huge. I would actually just prefer if they won it in 7. I'm still gonna. The Bucks are my favorite team in the playoffs right now. By the way, if you didn't know that already, favorite team left that is. But if they manage to make it a 7-game series,
the Suns right now.
But ultimately, Game 6, I'm still gonna be rooting for the Bucks. I'm
and
saying the perfect world. Right now too. They win that way, but either way, just fucking win. But like getting more rest time for Giannis is definitely a victory.
Yeah.
And hopefully that's how it ends up going. Also, 7-game series is always preferred because it's more entertaining. An elimination game for both sides. That's why everyone loves Game 7s. Anyways, I have no idea what I'm going to title this one. It might be something stupid like Brooke Lopez turning the prime Shaq today.
Yeah.
Something
that's
like
literally
that.
what he titled it.
So yeah, that's the video. Goodbye.
very solid video. So this has already been a very long reaction video. That was 10 minutes, and I paused and talked for a while, so I'm going to end the video here. Thanks for all the support, guys. Like, subscribe. Have a good one. Bye.